Welcome to 5 Minutes on Properties in Montenegro, brought to you by Montenegro Prospects, the country's leading real estate agency with over 20 years of experience. In this episode, we talk about the new property laws and how they affect buying and selling real estate in Montenegro.
Welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes on Properties in Montenegro by Montenegro Prospects. Today we have a privilege to talk with a property expert, Mr. Boris Adžić, a lawyer in Montenegro, who frequently deals with our clients looking to buy a property in Montenegro or simply seeking for advice. Today we are going to talk about two new laws that are affecting property market. The first one is a property on transactions and a lease of properties in Montenegro, and the other is the law on legalization and the effect and interpretation of this law on everyday life on the property market. So Boris, welcome. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. So I wanted to ask about the new law on transactions and lease of properties. This is a new law. Montenegro never had such a law before. So what would be the most important aspects for buyers and sellers?
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me in this podcast. Yes, this is the new law, and this is the first serious attempt from the state to make things more defined and more secure in this market. Before this, we had all profiles of people dealing with, as you probably know, with the real estate. Your profession is well known worldwide. It is well established and for decades, for probably for centuries. And this law doesn't give us many new things regarding the techniques of work in this profession. But the key words here are safety and order on the market. Which means that with the 3 or 4 new provisions, it should make things more secure for the clients and for the agents. And these things are, first of all, the registry, which the state will have, in which the agents will have to be signed in order to work in the market. So the client will know when he or she deals with an agent, they will know if the agent is registered in the ministry, in this registry. So they will feel secure that they are working with someone who knows how to deal with real estate. Other than that, all agents will have to pass this exam, which will be provided by the state. And the most important, probably for me, the most important thing, all the agents will have to have the professional liability insurance paid, and the contract between the agent and the client is defined by law, by its form and its provisions, most of the provisions, the general ones. So the key words, as I said, are order and security for the clients, because they know with whom they will deal and how this job of the real estate agent can be performed.
So basically the buyers or the sellers will be protected.
Yes.
And they will know if someone is not legit. So if it's not registered.
Yes.
There are some also, as I heard, some provisions that concern the necessity of having a proper office, also the number of people that are...
Yes, basically the client, buyer or seller, can ask from the agent to show them their number of the legitimation, and to show them their office, because that's one of the provision of the law, that every agent has to have a kind of office that satisfies the needs of that job. So all these things should make the real estate business much more secure in Montenegro, for buyers and sellers, of course, for all the clients, and probably the most important thing for me, as a lawyer is this insurance, professional liability insurance, which means that every client, when the agent makes a mistake, which makes damage to them, can ask for this compensation. Yes.
That's great. That is very important, and this is the first time that the client will have such an option. Before that, they were only left for the common sense and decency of an agent.
Yes, of course.
Okay. What about the law on legalization? This is very interesting interpretation of this law that we have at this moment, because right now the situation is that notaries and notary chamber decided not to allow signing any contracts, real estate purchase contracts, or lease contracts, or for the matter of fact gift contracts for the properties which are not 100% legal. How does this affect the market?
Yes, this applies to all the properties which have this encumbrance, this burden in the land registry, which says that they were built irregularly. We have this law from mid-August, and at first this provision of the law which you are talking about looked like it will apply to the future cases, but now this interpretation of the ministry came, and they said that it applies to all the cases. So the notary chamber took this into consideration, and they said that no contract can be signed for the contract of any kind, for sale, purchase, or rent, even rent, for the real estate which has this encumbrance. So this came as a surprise, but now we are trying to deal with this situation. And the situation is that one part of the market we cannot work with these properties anymore until the legalization is over. So now there are two important things in the meantime until the situation is solved. One is to do a quick legalization, but it doesn't. It's not just up to the clients and lawyers. It's up to the state, because state needs to perform to meet some conditions in order to finish this process. At the moment, we are trying to find some legal solution, some sort of contract which will protect legal rights of the potential buyers in the meantime, in this period until the legalization is over. And no one can say at the moment when will some real estate be legalized, because, as I said, it's not just a matter of clients and lawyers' due diligence. It's also on the state, because state has to meet some conditions in order to finish this process.
It was very slow before, because the first attempt for this legalization has been in 2018. Am I right?
Yes.
So it took quite some time, and it was very slow because of the absence of the urbanity plans of the higher order.
Yes.
So right now it is also very questionable for how long we'll all wait until we have all plans in place, and after that the municipalities will be impossibility to legalize the properties on their territories. They have scheduled a time frame in which all the owners of non-legal properties have to submit for legalization. It's February 2026.
Yes. 6 months from the
adoption
of law, yes. But there's one major change with this from this old law, because now the building doesn't have to meet requirements from the urban plan. It can just be built in the area which is not restricted, and where there are not plans to build some infrastructure objects.
Yeah, like a highway.
Yes, like highway or something like that. Yes. So these requirements or these conditions are much more liberal than in this old law. And that's where we see the intent, attempt of the state to make more liberal law and to push this law into enforcement, to push people toward the finalization of this process. So
this is quite a burden for the whole real estate market in Montenegro real estate market, because at the moment, how many such properties exists on the market?
Well, actually, no one knows. We will probably know when we have this aerial image which state announced, but it's not, as you probably saw from the media, it's not finished yet. It will be soon. And from the cadastral records, we cannot know because, and that's one important thing that I should say, because not all irregular buildings have this burden, this encumbrance in the cadastral. Yes, and that's why the clients, the potential buyers, has to be very, very cautious to think about that, to have that in mind, because sometimes they could think that the circumstance that there is no encumbrance can mean that the property is regular, but that's not the case, and that's why it's important to ask someone, for a professional, for the advice, someone who can say whether the building has to be legalized or not, and whether it, because as I mentioned, these conditions are much more liberal, but they are not without boundaries. They are not limitless, and some objects cannot be, some buildings cannot be legalized at the end.
This is very important to address that. Sometimes it will be the case that you simply will not be able, as you said, to see this burden in the ownership list.
Yes.
Because it simply has never been registered that
Yes.
way in the cataster. That is why we insist really that all of the clients do their own due diligence through Montenegrin lawyer. Hire a lawyer, that this is for your own safety, because in many times you will not see everything in the ownership list. So you need to dig further, deeper, in order to investigate the case. This brings us to another topic that I would like to go through with you, is why do clients, when they come in Montenegro, why do they need a lawyer? Is it imperative or?
There are two things, and we mentioned both. One is the legalization process, because as I said, it's not without limits. It's not the case that any real estate can be legalized, and it's very important for the client to know whether it can be legalized when they make this decision to buy. And in order to do that, we have to perform a due diligence. Sometimes it can be seen from the ownership list, and sometimes it cannot, because some old laws didn't define an obligation for that kind of encumbrance to be signed. And the other important thing is that in the meantime, because these irregular buildings cannot be transferred, the ownership cannot be transferred, and no contract, sale and purchase contract can be signed at the notaries. There has to be some form of legal, or some form of contract which can protect their interest, their right in the meantime, until the legalization is over. And the risk there is that no one knows when the legalization could be finished, because as I emphasized, as I said before, it is up to the state at the end.
So what would be your advice for the clients, buyers and sellers that come to Montenegro first time and they decide to invest and to buy a property here?
Well, it is. I must say that this is a difficult moment, because we have this new law, and the state is trying to put this market into some kind of order and to define everything, and it will probably last for a year or 2 or 3. We don't know that at the moment, but eventually I believe it will give give results, and Montenegrin market will be much more secure, much better when everything finishes. And then this moment they have to be, as I said, they have to be cautious about this legal status, and the best thing is to hire someone, a professional, firstly a lawyer for some kinds of due diligence. They will probably need a technical, an engineer, a technical person for technical assistance in this task. But they have to have at the end some kind of due diligence which says exactly if this property is legal, whether it can be legalized if it's not, and give them some insight into the cost of that process, because it can be expensive at the end.
Yes, the cost will probably be borne by the new owner when the legalization is over.
Yes,
finally.
the cost is on the person that is legally an owner at the moment when it finishes. So it can be one of the risks from buying property at the moment in Montenegro.
Thank you, Boris. It was a pleasure, and we'll probably have much more conversation about these legal topics which our clients meet when they come to Montenegro. Okay. So hopefully soon we'll have much more clear situation regarding this interpretation of the law. There are some movements from the side of the banks and other property professionals on the property market in Montenegro that are trying to get this decision or this opinion revisited, revised. So we'll see how it will go, but definitely something will have to be done pretty soon.
Yes, I hope it will pretty soon. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.